Hello people, my name's Mark and this is Camp Lapidary. Well, this is the Lapidary Dungeon. But today I have this saw blade that I thought was a good deal. I bought this in Quartzsite for $10. And it is a DW 4792 high performance 10-inch wet cutting tile saw blade, 6,000 RPM. This is made in Indonesia, and it claims to be good for ceramic tile, porcelain, granite, and slate. Now, if you remember or watched my other videos, I bought this Hitachi blade for $30 off of Amazon. It never claimed to be for porcelain. Porcelain being the hardest material listed on this blade. So this one was only listed for like ceramic tile, and it dulled up pretty good cutting agates. And so this one actually says porcelain, so maybe it'll hold up a little bit better. And because I got it for $10, right, you can't pass up a $10 blade. If you see a $10 blade and it says porcelain on it, heck, even if it doesn't, you should probably just buy it anyway, because $10 blades seem to be few and far between anymore. Anyway, we're going to try this blade out. Just like we tried out that Hitachi blade, we're going to try out this blade. And I have some materials here that I bought in Quartzsite, and some fairly hard materials, I think. And we're going to see how well this DeWalt DW4792 blade performs. All right, so I've got 4 materials here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make multiple videos out of this video. So there's going to be a blade review video and then a cutting materials on tile saw videos. And there'll be little short videos, and I'll try to make them as entertaining as possible. We've got a GoPro on my RAM arms over there, and of course our Sony camera, just kind of generally recording everything. So what I have to cut is, our softest material is some rhyolite, and this is some banded rhyolite from the California Mojave Desert that I bought this in Quartzsite, and I'm kind of excited to see how it cuts. And some brecciated Whiskey Creek jasper, right? So this one is probably a 6, and this one's probably going to be, you know, getting to a 7 or even a 7. And this is a big old chunk of amethyst crystal, and I picked this up in Quartzsite as well. I paid $5 for this chunk of Quartzsite, so we'll cut that up. And finally, we have some Nova Scotia agate, and there's the price I paid for this little chunk of agate. And I figure this is a nice cutter, perfect for cutting on the tile saw. So we'll start with the 6, and then probably go either with amethyst or jasper, and then agate. And if we can cut through 3 of these before it gets dull, well, then I think that's a pretty good blade. And if we can get through it and make multiple cuts on everything, well, then this blade is a very good blade. All right, so we'll get it installed and get this thing rolling. All right. That's nice. That's a good blade. For $10, it's an excellent blade. Now this blade, I checked on the internet, you know, and it's definitely a lot smoother now than when I started, this leading edge. But, you know, I went online and I searched for that name and number. And so these blades are commonly sold online for about 30 bucks. And that's about the same price that I paid for this Hitachi blade. And I think this DeWalt blade is probably a better deal. This one got dull pretty quick. And this one lasted a fair bit longer. Even though we were cutting Montana agates with this one, I still feel like this one lasted a little bit longer. I got a few more cuts before it really started slowing down. And, you know, I think it's pretty good for cutting on a tile saw. Yeah, I think this is a good blade. It's a 0.6. When I picked it up, I estimated, oh yeah, it must be about 0.6. And then when I searched it online, you can go to DeWalt, and they got pretty much all the specifications right there. And yes, indeed, it is a 0.6 thickness blade. And, you know, while some people might say that's too thick, that's a sturdy blade. You know, it's not going to warp all around and do weird things when you're cutting. And you're going to get, you know, fairly straight cuts on smaller materials. The bigger the material, the more it's going to wander and do things. So you do want a nice sturdy blade. Nothing wrong with that. All right, once again, my name's Mark. This is Camp Lapidary. And that's probably the end of the blade review. And I'm going to get a little bit more footage of these cuts and maybe even do a few more cuts for the little videos for cutting materials. All right.